Okay, thank you, Reverend. Yeah, it's a great honour really for me to come and share, one as a Christian and one to sort of share my experience really of what I went through as a child, a teenager, and then a young adult. I was brought up in a broken family. Do you know, I lived with my dad. My mum wasn't about, and then I had a carer who was quite abusive. Do you know, in mid pre-teen years, and it left me with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, even as a young child. And I remember the first time I ever took a drug, I was 13 years old. And I didn't know at the time, I just thought I liked the feeling that I got off drugs, but really it just stopped me feeling the way that I kind of did, really anxious, really full of fear. And my drug taking led me on to make quite serious crimes when I was a teenager. And I was in young offenders by the time I was 17 years old. I suffered quite bad with my mental health, with anxiety, and I'd do a prison sentence, and my experience was that I was given no life skills whatsoever. So when I came out, I was just unable to cope, and prison just became a revolving door for me. And I literally spent 25 years of my life just on this revolving door. And it's my belief that if recovery was an option, if recovery programs were an option in prison, that revolving door would have never have happened. The cycle of my life would never have happened. My life did start to change when I was 40 years old. And this came totally out of blue and totally as a shock to me. I had a road to Damascus moment, you'd call it. God appeared in front of me, touched my life, but and I'm so grateful for that. I love my life as a Christian. I love, being able to give back and using values that God installed in me. It took a while from that road to Damascus moment to actually have an impact in my life, really. There was obvious changes straight away, but I still had this addiction and I still had this mental health problem. And probably 2 years into being a Christian, I reoffended and went back to prison. And for me, that was the beginning of the end, really, of me offending, me taking drugs, and me sort of going to prison. It was such an horrific experience to go to prison as a Christian and to be in that environment. I just kind of knew that would be the last sentence that I kind of did. And I come out in 2018. And what I believed, really helped me was just being accepted by society. I got involved in a recovery group, and I wasn't judged. And I think it was the first time in my life that I felt that, I wasn't judged by society. And I got clean and I slowly started to rebuild my life. And part of my sort of amends to society, really, is to help other prisoners, and it gives me, and I go around schools and I spread the message about, drugs and life choices. Yeah, and it's kind of, I do believe it's part of my rehabilitation and my being made right with God to kind of go and, make this my life's work. which I kind of do these days. Yeah, and like I say, it's a great honour for me to sort of be involved in any kind of church reforms. I'm not really sure what church can do to help people like me, apart from, or people with addiction and mental health problems, apart from just be there for them, really, and accept them and help them rebuild their lives. I think people are so used to society shunning them that they feel bad, and the only way to stop them feeling that way is just to pick up another drug, and the cycle continues. At some point, the cycle's got to be broken, and I do believe it comes through acceptance. Do you know, people understanding. Do you know, I do believe most people that are sat in prison today suffering from mental health problems, and drugs are just the solution to that problem. And I think, you know, I think recovery programs should be mandatory in prison. It's no good giving a prisoner an English class, do you know, when they can't cope with their addiction. Do you know, that needs sorting out first, in my opinion. I just felt I'd been punished, rather than try to be rehabilitated. And I think if I'd have had that at 17-year-old, do you know, this cycle for me just wouldn't have happened. Like I said today, I work with a small charity now that tries to help these people and helps the family members of these people, do you know, because it isn't just me that was suffering, my whole family was suffering. And it went on for 25 years. It kind of, it robbed me of a life, but it sort of gave me a life as well. And I'm, do you know, grateful that I get this opportunity now to dedicate my life to helping other people, do you know, which is great for a Christian, do you know. So yeah, I thank God for that. Yeah, and you know, I ain't really got much more to say really, apart from, you know, it's great that people are just even looking at addicts in a different way and looking how we can help them. Yeah, and it's a great honour to be here. Thank you.